Guys, Bishop Okonkwo was on TVC for an interview session. He was asked about INEC and the election so far. He said if he was in the position that the president is now, he is going to jail Mahmood, INEC chairman. That he's going to jail him for coming out, telling Nigerians that results will be transmitted real time, spending so much money on BVAS and IREF, only for them to tell us that there was a glitch. That if he had that opportunity, that if he has the chances, he's going to jail Mahmood. I'm just going to allow you to take a look at. Honestly, this was a beautiful interview. I believe that even the TVC presenter would be very shocked because, you know, possibly they were expecting him to come and say all good things about the Tinubu's government. But he is insisting that the election, that the last presidential election is faulty. That is faulty. That if he has his way, he's going to jail Mahmood. Let me just allow you to take a look at this. This is
from your own assessment, Bishop. How would you say governance has helped improve lives and livelihood of Nigerians? We've seen successive governments come and go with different kind of policies, but when you still look at it, you know, there's still a far cry from where we should be. And some people say, well, indeed, more and more of our citizens are still below the poverty line, with insecurity, rising inflation, and a whole lot still facing the country today as some of as some of the challenges. What's your own view on how governance has helped impact lives and livelihood?
Well, we can thank God for where we are today. However, it's not it's an open secret that we are not where we are supposed to be as a nation, given the resources that God has placed on our land. And I think that one of the major causes is because the wrong people have always occupied the position of governance. The system has not allowed for those that the citizens want to be in governance to get in there. That's why the need for electoral reforms. We need electoral reforms in this country. It's very important if we must get so as to ensure that this idea of godfatherism in our electoral system, this idea of your votes not counting, it must be taken seriously. Until that happens, people will keep on using money to get into political positions. And when they get there, the natural phenomena is for the individual to know how to make back his money and not to serve the people. Governance must return back to making the people who are sitting at the circle of leadership to know that they are there to serve the people and not to lord it over the people. It will make you to serve them. It will make you to do the right thing. And we'll begin to see the dividends of democracy. So presently, we have not seen it because the system does not allow for it.
Well, you said the system does not allow for it, but it's a democracy. We have had election cycles, and elections have also thrown up our leaders. We have seen citizens lined up to cast their ballot in electing or choosing who governs them. Are you then saying that, you know, these elections are not a reflection of the people's wish? And even our electoral reforms we've had over time. Yes, there's still a clamor for more improvement, but are you saying these electoral reforms we've had over time have not been quite impressive?
Everyone knows that our elections have not been very straightforward. You know that. I mean, look at the events that happened in the last election, for instance. How can you tell us and go all over the world and tell us that the beavers are going to work real time? Real time. You assured us, and billions were put in. Well, if I were the president, honestly, such chairman of our electoral system should be put in jail. How could you spend such amount of money, 300 and how many billions of money, and we are saying that at a particular point that there was a glitch? What does that mean? And yet other offices were able to go directly with the beavers, but when it came to the presidential, he couldn't. I mean, I don't understand it. We still have. I mean, for me, It's an embarrassment that countries like that are just around us, they are little countries, are able to conduct at least near free and fair election. And here we are, the giant of Africa, up till now, still struggling with election. We still, handling our electoral system in a primitive way. For me, it's an embarrassment, and it has to change. I've said it umpteen times that if it is the only legacy our President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will give to us as a nation, where there is a level playing ground for any citizen in this country to be able to run for office and be sure that he can get into office without any assistance based on his qualification and based on his capacity. If that's the only thing he can give to this country, he has done the best for us. Because you don't want a situation where some people are feeling that it is their birthright to govern the country and no other person has right. It must not be so. That this entitlement mentality must stop. Nigeria should be for every Nigerian. And so we need that. If it is not done, we are just playing to the gallery.
So will you also weigh in on the debate on power rotation, north-south? Some people say, oh, the north has had it for this time. This is the time of the south. Some say it should return to the north. There's this that's really dividing the fabric of nationhood. What's your view on this particular power rotation debate?
As good as it is, just for fairness, that is, if the North has it for some time, the South should have it. For me, personally, this is my personal view, and it doesn't have to be the view of every person, is that, look, wherever we have the best candidate, wherever it's coming from, I don't care whether it is in the same region, let him be there. After all we want is dividends of democracy. If we can get the dividends of democracy, Nigerians don't care where you come from. If you can give us good road network, healthcare delivery, infrastructural development, educational system, if you give all that social systems, you can walk into the hospital and be sure that the hospitals are working and it's not a death trap. And you have these systems in place. Nigerians are resilient people. We are very, very hardworking. They will work hard for themselves. So, for me, the region does not matter. And that's why I don't believe in this issue of minority. For me, in my mind, in my mentality, I don't believe anyone is a minority in this country. We should know that wherever you are coming from, you should have right. And that's what I'm praying, that the president should be able to bequeath to us as he is now in the saddle of leadership.
Yeah, Bishop, these issues, some people will say they are not that easy, as you are saying it, because of the diversities in Nigeria. Even for the president, it might be a tall order. There is also the National Assembly that would have to tinker with the Constitution to make some of these things work. Now, I would like you to speak about our institutions. You talked about, INEC and, their failure in strengthening the electoral process. Let's look at other institutions now, because sometimes so much attention is always on the president, forgetting that we have the subnationals, we have the National Assembly, and we have also other institutions that are also supposed to function at the same pace and capacity with the government at the center. Would you say that, our institutions are also developing at the speed with which they should go?
Unfortunately, the whole issue lies again on the leadership. I pity the president, honestly. In my view, I pity him because so much is expected of him. But unfortunately, he's sitting on the rot of so many years. And people are looking for a miracle overnight. Our institutions are really not what they should be. And this is because of the fact that, corruption has become endemic from top to bottom. Everyone should accept responsibility for it and then know that we are all on the floor and that now has come the time for us to tell ourselves the home truth that, listen, we cannot continue on this downward trajectory and expect Nigeria to turn around. It will never turn around with this type of attitude. The hour has come for us to say, look, we want the Nigeria of our dream. I mean, look at our National Assembly. When I listen to the other institutions outside this country and see how passionate they are when it comes to issues concerning their citizens, just that there is a shooting in a school, it will occupy the mainline media. It will occupy their National Assembly or their parliament until a solution is found. What are we seeing here today in this country? People die like fowl, die like anything, and no, I mean, it looks as if it's nothing. Human life has become like killing chicken, and yet it means nothing. Insecurity is all over the place, and there are people running those institutions. They are bringing in fake products, fake medication into the country, and there are people running those institutions and allowing them to come. So the whole thing, there is a total breakdown of law and order. And I think that, and I pray that one day God will give us a type of leadership that will be both hard and have its own human face. Because the way I see things in this country, you don't need a kid's glove to change this country. No. Yes, it's not a kid's glove. It will never happen. Because every person is cornering his own area. Every area is somebody else's oil well. That is what is happening. And until there is honesty and sincerity on all of us that are Nigerians, we will remain where we are. That's why I don't believe in shifting leaders, shifting the whole blame on the presidency. That would be unfair. It's not right. It would be unfair.
Yeah, Bishop, you said that we need a leader who would not treat the issues in the country, the challenges, with kid gloves. This presidency has come with some kind of reforms. They call them some bold reforms, especially with the removal of subsidy, the unification of the exchange rate, and a whole lot of other reforms that they say that indeed it's going to cause temporary pains, but there will be gains at the end of it. What's your view about the implementation of these reforms, and would you say they are well conceived?
As far as I'm concerned, the reforms on the facial value in terms of the policy is good, because the issue of oil subsidy had been on the front burner for many years, and we keep on hearing it and nothing happens, and now it's supposedly removed now, and plus other things that are put in place, and they are good on the face value. But one of the problems is this. One thing is to say that we want to ensure that we review our economic system in the country, but the leadership should also show through the way they function, the Nigerians, that they are serious about it. You can't be telling me about economic reforms and then we are carrying around this number of convoy. A local government chairman will be moving on the road with that long convoy. He's spending money. Why do we need that for? Who is after him?
The cost of governance.
Yes, it should be reviewed. It should be reviewed, and those in leadership should be seen to lead the way. Then Nigerians will know they are serious. They can't be telling us tighten our belt, and they are not tightening the belt. I mean, we read. I mean, unfortunately for them, the social media has made it so easy for anyone to know what is going on around the nation. So we cannot be wasting money. There is so much wastage in the country. And at times I ask myself, is it that there is no accountability? Is it that there is no one calling some of the governors and those who are in the National Assembly to order? I don't understand it. So that is one of the reasons why a lot of Nigerians feel that it's just a charade.
All right.
As good as the policies are, but they feel it's a charade.
Indeed, Bishop. Bishop, we're entering another election season now, approaching 2027. You know, the last election, 2023, the church came under heavy criticism because some people say some pastors ceded their pulpits to politicians to use as a campaign platform. And some pastors also openly took sides, you know, in support of certain candidates, be it local government, presidential, or senatorial. Should that be the case? We understand that as pastors, as bishops, you are also citizens of Nigeria, and you also have your rights, you know, in a democracy. But should the pastors use their pulpits to influence their members or sway their members towards supporting certain candidates? Because we saw that happen, Bishop.
I don't believe in that. I mean, anyone who knows me knows I don't believe that our platforms should be used for political campaign. No. Why? My own reason, personal reason, is that, listen, in our churches, there are people with different political persuasions. And so if you now get up and say, I want all my members vote this party, there are people in your church that will revolt against you and tell you that's wrong. You can't tell me to vote for this party when I want this party. So that's why it is absolutely wrong for any pastor to get up on his pulpit and tell his people, this is the person you must vote for. The most you could do is to give direction. You know, put the options on the paper. Let the individual choose what they want. I'm not averse to church being involved in political process. They should be involved. In fact, it's one of the reasons why good people have not been thrown up as far as political positions are concerned. Because I remember in the past, we used to say that politics is a dirty game. And we discouraged our people from getting involved in politics. But I think while Archbishop Benson Idahosa was alive, that was when we started to review that idea. And we started educating our people that, look, you have to be involved in electoral process. It's a part of your civic responsibility. But it must not be that you will use the platform to throw up candidate and say, this is the candidate you must vote for. That's not right. So if that has happened, that must be a big mistake, but I don't think it's the right thing to do.
And we're also seeing, you know, some churches, especially with sermons now, focusing more on prosperity. And some people say it's piling pressure on a lot of our members. You know, it's kind of like a get rich or die trying. And, you know, these sermons are being pushed on from the altar at the time when, you know, we understand that there's a lot of challenges and hardship. Is not as easy as that. Even manna no longer falls from heaven, Bishop, you agree with me. But we still see some of these sermons, you know, that kind of creates an atmosphere or presents an atmosphere as if you attend certain churches, you become prosperous, or if you believe in certain doctrines, naturally prosperity will fall on you. You know, what's your view about all of this? Because it's really an issue in the church today, beyond the message of salvation.
Well, let me tell you the truth. Much as we know that there are charlatans who are behind the sacred desk, pushing out wrong doctrine, just like in every profession, you have charlatans who do all manner of things. But I will not shy away from the fact that the word salvation is holistic. It's not just being saved from sin. It includes being saved from sickness, from disease, from poverty, from hardship, from disappointment, from frustration, or anything that the devil can give. It's a holistic word. It's a robust word. So when one receives Christ into his life, I expect that he will prosper all round. It's part of the package that was given to us as Christians. But if you are ignorant of it, you will be a Christian and still die poor. That's the truth. You will be a Christian, God still loves you, you will go to heaven, but you will not be useful here on earth, because here it is on earth that funds are used. Okay. You don't use sand to buy microphone. You don't use sand to buy to build a house. Indeed. So there is no way. There is a law that says, as long as the earth remains, seed time and harvest. And every one of us knows that harvest is always more than the seed.
Indeed.
So I will not, because of the irresponsibilities of some of the people behind the sacred desk, to deny the fact that God blesses when we give out of our appreciation of his benevolence to us.
All right then. Thank you so much, Bishop Mike Okonkwo.
So guys, you have seen it for yourself. Everybody that has conscience knows that the election that brought Tinubu to power is faulty. It's faulty. And guess what? The person who profited from it is not ready to make amends. He's not ready to make changes. He's not ready. And you know, Nigerians are not just worried about the electoral reform, but they're also worried about the next INEC chairman Tinubu is going to appoint. People have come out to say that the president shouldn't have the power to be appointing all these people. They should leave it for an independent body to appoint an INEC chairman. But the question remains, how are you going to create an independent body? There is even the government institutions, some of the bodies that we have today, like INEC and the rest of them, the courts and all of them, which are supposed to be independent. Guess what? The powers that be, they've all infiltrated them, making them to be rendered useless. You know, recently Wike came out to say, oh, we are going to build more houses for judges. The question remains, is it Wike that is supposed to be building houses for judges? Is it not supposed to be captured in their budget and then the money be given to them and they take care of themselves? Tinubu want to build for judges. Wike want to build for judges. After building for them, increasing their salaries, tell me how they will not be worshipping you. You know? So there's nothing like democracy in this country. Anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell notification. Thank you.